We hope to learn more this morning about the man who shot and killed a doctor, pharmacy assistant, and a police officer in Chicago yesterday. We'll have the latest on the investigation.
Lots of people are packing their bags for Thanksgiving trips today, and lower gas prices mean more people are hitting the road. Josh Breiter will share what you can expect for your Turkey Day travel.
This is News 3 This Morning.
Good morning and welcome to News 3 This Morning. It's Tuesday, November 20th. Hattie just lent us some light reading here this morning.
Calendars for everybody.
You get a
Here's
calendar.
November, by the way.
This just
November
in.
20th.
Oh, yeah.
From next year, I suppose.
Yeah.
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 These
My
are
bad.
the 2019 calendars.
Of course it would be. Otherwise, they'd be kind of useless, huh? Guys, it is
point.
early. It is early.
It is.
Yeah, but just in time for all the shopping that's going to happen
true.
this weekend. The calendars
Great
are
gift.
in. Here are all the details on the screen, how you can order one. You can order them online. They're $13 this year, or you can send them on to the station. We will get the calendar out in the mail to you. Just don't forget to include your return address so we know where to send the calendars.
That would be crucial,
But
yeah.
the calendar is filled with beautiful pictures.
Really
sent
nice.
in by the viewers. Yeah, every year. You just don't disappoint. They're absolutely gorgeous. So calendars are in. We have plenty for the holiday season. Let's take a look, though, at what's happening on the radar map this morning. We have clouds in the area, and we've even seen a few flurries, especially here at the station on the west side of town. The flurry activity is diminishing this morning as we speak, but you may see a few of those snowflakes flying yet this morning. They're not accumulating on the ground at all. With the clouds in place this morning, temps are actually a little bit warmer than we initially thought. 25 still here in Madison and Janesville, 22 in the Dells, 18 though in Platteville, and 17 in Prairie du Chien. Should see a little sunshine for the afternoon especially, but it's not going to warm us up much. Highs are only in the low 30s later today. Here's a look at your first alert traffic maps this morning. We'll see what's happening on the roads. Still reporting a stalled vehicle on eastbound Highway 30 at Stoughton Road. Be aware of that if that is anywhere close to your morning commute. Otherwise, no other issues to report right now. You're still going at posted speeds as you head into Madison. I imagine the roads, though, getting pretty busy, especially later today as people start to head to their holiday destinations.
Yeah. Did you find your favorite?
I was going to say, I'm not even paying attention. I'm doing some browsing. Check this one out, guys.
Yeah, there's some really
Jerry
nice
Davis.
ones.
Yeah, aren't these pretty?
Just
Yeah.
says
Look
Wisconsin,
at that
doesn't it?
beautiful Wisconsin photo. I'll just sit here all day. Danica, do you mind?
Yeah,
Just take over.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
cool.
Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
We do want to start this morning in Chicago, where an ER doctor, a pharmaceutical assistant, and a police officer are dead after a gunman opened fire near a hospital. The shooter is also dead this morning, but it's unclear whether he was shot by police or took his own life. Officers say this was the result of a domestic incident. Witnesses called in an argument outside Mercy Hospital on the city's south side yesterday. The gunman then reportedly shot a woman he had been in a relationship with before walking into the hospital and opening fire. A processional was held last night for the officer who was killed, taking his body from the hospital to the funeral home. Back in Madison, a person of interest is in custody in connection with a shooting on the city's west side. A 36-year-old woman was taken to the hospital with gunshot wounds to her arm and leg after she was shot inside her apartment on Tree Lane. This happened just before 3 yesterday afternoon. That victim is expected to be okay. A spokesperson for Heartland Housing told the State Journal that shooting happened in one of the nonprofit's apartment buildings for homeless families. The person police arrested was trying to leave the scene shortly after the shooting.
Illinois officials are asking for Wisconsin's help in finding a missing teenager. 16-year-old Amanda Perrier from Elmhurst, Illinois, about 20 minutes west of Chicago, was last seen leaving York High School Wednesday morning last week. She doesn't have a cell phone, but police do think she's somewhere in Wisconsin. Amanda is about 5'4" with long red hair. She was last seen wearing a beige sweatshirt, white Vans shoes, and blue jeans. Anyone with information is asked to call the DuPage County Sheriff's Office at that number right there on your screen. That's 630-407-2364. That number is also up on channel3000.com. Dane County officers say car thefts in our area are still clearly a problem after yet another burglary ending in the arrest of 4 teens yesterday. This latest case happened in Wanakee when a man told police he saw 2 people go into his garage while he was still home just after 8 a.m. When he went to confront them, they took off in a vehicle that police later found out was stolen from Middleton. The teens sped off, then jumped out of that car and ran off before officers ultimately arrested them. Numbers show an alarming increase in this type of crime. Police say they are mostly crimes of opportunity, They're reminding people to lock their doors, close their garages, and say something if you see something.
Administrators in Middleton are asking students to come forward if they know anything about the alleged sexual harassment that prompted a protest yesterday. About 200 high schoolers walked out of class after a number of anonymous accusations of sexual harassment. District officials say those allegations were posted over the weekend on social media. Many of them involved the same male student at Middleton High School. The district says this is the first time that they've heard about this. Officials say they're looking into the claims and talking with many of the students who posted them. They add they do encourage students to peacefully organize. Josh Cole is preparing for a swearing-in ceremony and transition into the Attorney General's office after his opponent officially conceded the race yesterday. Attorney General Brad Schimmel announced he will not pursue a recount after losing to his Democratic challenger, that is, by less than 1 percentage point of the vote. Schimmel would have been responsible to cover the cost of that recount. Meanwhile, Cole will be the first Democratic Attorney General the state has seen since his mother, Peg Lautenschlager, filled that role from 2002 to 2006.
Local county clerks say changing the date of the presidential primary in 2020 could be pretty expensive for them. The primary is scheduled to coincide with the election for state Supreme Court that year. Justice Dan Kelly is on the ballot, but because it would be the same day that Democrats chose a potential challenger to Donald Trump, turnout on that side could be pretty high. The State Elections Commission didn't have an immediate price tag for an extra election day, but back in 2016, an election with a presidential primary on the ballot cost local clerks about $6 million.
At least 2 Democratic lawmakers representing Wisconsin say they're not sure whether they will vote for Nancy Pelosi as the next House Speaker. Representative Mark Pocan, who represents the Madison area, and Ron Kine from La Crosse say that they're both undecided, that is, ahead of next week's Democratic caucus elections. Pocan says he will meet with Pelosi privately before he makes a final decision, but it's likely that she will be elected to the leadership position regardless of his vote. That said, just yesterday, 16 House Democrats said they will not vote in favor of Nancy Pelosi.
6:07 your time now. AAA is predicting the highest number of Thanksgiving travelers since Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire came out in theaters, one of my favorites. That was 2005, by the way.
The agency says higher wages and more disposable income have something to do with the roads being a bit more packed this holiday. Josh Spreiter is live just north of Madison along Highway 12 this morning, preparing all of us for our Thanksgiving travel. Hi, Josh.
Good morning, ladies. AAA estimates nearly 1 million Wisconsinites will be hitting the road this Thanksgiving week. That's around 5% higher than last year. Along with that higher number we're seeing across the country, however, AAA expects to rescue nearly 360,000 motorists at the roadside this Thanksgiving. Dead batteries, lockouts, and flat tires will be the leading reasons for car trouble. AAA recommends your car getting any needed maintenance before heading out. Oil changes, fluid level checks, battery tests, and tire inspections go a long way toward reducing the chances of a breakdown.
You have the opportunity, especially if you're going to be taking an extended trip, it's always good to try and get your vehicle checked out by a certified mechanic.
AAA says lower gas prices are also giving folks an extra push. The national average right now is around $2.79 a gallon. The good news is we're paying about 30 cents less than that here in Wisconsin. As far as those of you heading by air, you're going to want to travel or add some extra time heading to the airport, and especially those longer security lines. Air travel is up about 6.5% this year due to a stronger economy. More people are wanting to fly, but really patience all around whether you're going by air or by car, ladies.
Always the case, but specifically when we're talking about a 5% increase in travel in the state and across the country here, Josh.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see more people traveling and saving a little extra money while doing so, and obviously getting to their Turkey Day destination safely.
I was about to say, and hopefully safely. Yes. Sorry, Josh Spreiter reporting live for us this morning along Highway 12. Thanks, Josh.
All right, still ahead, we are taking time to talk this morning about how, in a world of social media and societal pressures, we can help our kids be themselves. We're chatting with child psychologist Britt Kuhlman about our Time for Kids BU campaign and building up confidence in our kids. That's coming up.
Before that, though, don't be fooled by the sun starting to come up this morning. Maybe not quite yet. Hattie says it's a layer up kind of Tuesday. Yeah, she'll have that temperature, another chilly day ahead when News 3 This Morning returns.
This
Good morning from the patio. Still a few snowflakes falling down this morning, but nothing is sticking to the patio. No accumulation is expected. Wanted to show you a couple of beautiful pictures. Got in yesterday from our sunrise yesterday morning. This one Kim sent in. What a gorgeous view with those pinks and yellows in the sky. And here's another one sent in by Carol. Another great view of the morning sunrise. Not sure if we're going to see anything quite as pretty this morning, although there are a few breaks in the cloud cover, so there is the potential for a gorgeous sunrise once again. We have to be patient though. Sun comes up a little closer to 7 o'clock. We do have clouds, as I mentioned, in the area, and even a few flurries flying across southern Wisconsin. This isn't any major snow event by any means. No accumulation is expected. Another system waiting in the wings in northern Minnesota this morning. That will bring a chance for a few flurries or even just a little bit of freezing drizzle coming tonight. Most of the day, though, is going to be dry. Take a look at your GFS Future Track forecast model. We'll start on Wednesday. A lot of travel taking place over the next couple of days, and looks like the weather around here is going to be great for travel on Wednesday. No weather-related delays anticipated at all. If you are traveling on Thursday, looking just as nice. Now on Friday, there is rain in the forecast. Southerly winds bring in warmer temperatures and rain to the entire Badger State. Looks like a lot of Illinois catching in on some of that activity as well. Dry again on Saturday, but then the GFS forecast model is hinting at another storm potential on Sunday. This one associated with some cold air, so there is that potential for some mix changing over to snow as we head into the first part of next week. Now, there's a lot of time between now and then, and a lot of things can change, but just be aware that travel might not be as good for the second part of the weekend as it is heading up to Thanksgiving. Our almanac for the day, a normal high of 42 today. Once again, we're falling short. Our forecast high is just 31 degrees, well below normal. We've dropped a degree here in Madison. We're at 23, 22 in the Dells, 18 in Platteville, and 17 in Prairie du Chien. There may be a little bit more significant clearing taking place there. Westerly winds are light, so wind chill is not a big factor this morning. Your Future Track forecast model does show you that the clouds will break up a little bit as we head into the afternoon. Any clearing, though, is going to be short-lived. There's that potential for a little bit of flurry or freezing drizzle activity this evening. Otherwise quiet as we head into Wednesday morning. Your extended forecast is a little cooler leading up to Thanksgiving. We dropped those temperatures down just a little bit, still in the low 30s tomorrow, upper 30s on Thursday. We're back into the 40s for a couple of days, but could get a little wet around here late Friday into very early Saturday. And then again on Sunday, keep in mind there is a potential for rain changing over to some snow. Now let's get a look at your first alert traffic maps this morning with Josh Tim. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, good morning. Starting off with delays on eastbound Highway 30 from a stalled out semi near the Stoughton Road exit. The left lane is closed, so definitely plan on slowdowns in that area. The Beltline is moving well so far, though. No issues showing up east or westbound at this point. No problems with delays downtown around the Capitol Square and UW campus. Volume not an issue. And all looking good on other main routes heading into the Madison area with no major crashes or delays to slow you down. With your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you all, Josh and Hattie. Now, of course, when it comes to the weather and Thanksgiving travel, we are all curious as to what's going on. So let's go ahead and show you just how things are shaping up across the country right now. We've got a little bit of light rain down across the deep south, some light snows flying across parts of the eastern Great Lakes and into the north and east. And we're going to see more of that as we go through the rest of today. We'll see more accumulating snows across parts of New England, and then another light snow system will travel across the Great Lakes and into New England once again. But as we head into your Wednesday, that is when the next system starts to work its way in towards the west coast. That'll bring mountain snow along with rain into California, which of course we know they need rain, but this is a lot of rain that could trigger some mudslides as well. With the worst travel Wednesday into Thursday will of course be across the mountains. So when it comes to tracking your holiday travel delays, everything in the green is no delay. But as you get in towards the yellow, those are minor delays. The red color there, that's moderate, and any pink, that would be a major delay. And we could see some minor to moderate delays across the Northeast as we head into your Tuesday and then into Wednesday. We're going to watch that as well. But by Wednesday morning and into Wednesday afternoon, attention will turn to the west for where the worst travel will be across America, even into your Thanksgiving day. That bad travel, or impacted travel rather, will work its way into the Sierra Nevada and into the Rockies. But for the most part, the country as a whole will look good leading up into Thanksgiving, other than each coastline there. Now, the worst travel will likely be actually coming home. As we go Friday into Saturday, that is when we could see rain across the nation's midsection working its way towards the east. By Sunday, a potential winter storm will be developing across the middle part of the country. That could even bring some rain and snow to us here in Wisconsin before that works its way towards the east, bringing the East Coast, again, more chances for heavy rain and potentially even some severe thunderstorms with rain and snow over for the Great Lakes and the northern Midwest. So, of course, it's going to be a busy pattern going through the next couple of days. But the good news is, at least for now, that the day before Thanksgiving, when a lot of folks are going to be driving, does look rather quiet before things get active.
That is exactly what people want to hear this week.
That is what people want to hear. So eat up, eat plenty of food, enjoy that time with your family, and then headed home. Just do know if you are staying later and coming home over the weekend, you could see some travel impacts then.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Chris.
My pleasure.
Just be careful. Take it slow. All right, we are going to talk about a new campaign encouraging you and your kids to just be you. We'll have more on that next.
And Hattie's talking about some flurries heading into my birthday tomorrow before the sun returns. All I'm asking for is some nice light tracking snow for my next hunt. Your forecast is next when News 3 This Morning returns.
Good morning. I'm meteorologist Hattie McLean. We have mostly cloudy skies this morning and even a few flurries here across parts of southern Wisconsin. That flurry activity, though, is really beginning to diminish across the area, so they're not going to last very long. No accumulation is expected. Our temperatures this morning are in the 20s in most locations. Starting to see some clearing, though, along the Mississippi River Valley. Temperatures are quickly dropping into the teens there. We're at 23 here in Madison, drops to 21 in Mineral Point and 17 in Platteville. You'll want to bundle up again today. Even though we have sunshine in the forecast today, it's going to be another chilly one with high temperatures in the lower 30s this afternoon. Have a wonderful day.
All right, Hattie, thank you so much. We wanted to take some time to talk this morning about a pretty simple phrase that can be really complicated as a concept. Just be you. Seems easy enough, but add in the stresses of social media, the pressures of society, and it can be really hard for our kids to figure that out, let alone be confident in themselves.
Yeah, we are joined this morning by Britt Kuhlman. She is a child psychologist with SSM Health, and she's joining us to talk about the importance of this Be You message. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
So I remember, Danica and I were just talking about this. When we were in high school, the pressure to be involved with everything from sports to doing well in school, band and choir, and keeping up with all of your classmates. I mean, those are a lot of expectations for kids.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, as we have more expectations, kids are feeling more of this pressure now than ever, I think.
And what kind of pressure are they facing?
Well, I think just some of the things that you just mentioned, right? Academic pressure is pretty high. There's a pressure to be involved in a lot of things. There's social pressures that they're facing. There's pressures to look a certain way. So there's a lot of levels here.
And this whole campaign, Britt, is something, you know, it's about not only being you, but like finding that first, which a lot of these kids are still in the process of doing, right? What are you seeing in your office every day when it comes to kind of these issues?
Yeah, I think, you know, when it comes to middle school and high school, this is an area of exploration for kids. So they're not really sure what they want to look like themselves. They don't really know who they are completely yet, and they're kind of exploring for themselves. So it's hard when they're faced with a lot of additional information about what that should look like and what it's supposed to look like.
Going off of that topic, I mean, Danica and I didn't necessarily have to deal with social media when we were growing up. How does that add just another factor for these kids?
Well, you have something where you can literally compare yourself to other people every day, right? So, I mean, there's the real life comparison, but there's this also extra layer where you're looking at pictures of people at their best, right? And you're looking at information about the best things that they're doing with their life as well. So there's a different layer of comparison when it comes to social media because you're not comparing to real life.
Right.
So how do we weed through all of this? I know you and I have had conversations, and it's not an easy solution. And honestly, taking the social media component out of it isn't always the solution.
Right, right. And I always talk about it might not be that you're gonna have a lot of telling your kids about what to do or telling your kids about don't compare yourself to other people, right? Because I mean, that's going to fall on deaf ears. I think a lot of it is going to be about how you role model to kids and how you role model, you know, being your authentic self, as well as being able to identify strengths for your child, being to identify the positive things that you see as character traits for them, and being able to surround them with other positive role models as well.
So turning off the social media isn't necessarily the answer. I find that sort of interesting. What sort of conversation do you have then about comparing yourself to that person you're seeing on Facebook or Instagram?
I think it's good to have conversations about it. Yeah, I think it's good to talk about social media because, like you said, it may not be that we're gonna just not have social media. Right. Especially for high schoolers, everybody has social media. And it's a way for them to connect with other kids, but it may be that you talk about, okay, that image of your friend that we're looking at right now, is that realistic, right? Is that how they actually look in real life? What about what they posted? Is that representative of everything that goes on in their day, or do you think that's really more just like a highlight?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, here's our call for action really quick, because we want to make sure that you are being you and that you're encouraging your kids to do so as well. You can write a story, submit a photo, whatever it is of you being you, use that hashtag BeYou, and we will try to feature some of these time for kids, time to talk, BU photos and stories in our stories to come. Britt Kuhlman joining us from SSM this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Britt. All right, 6:27 your time now. There is some good news if you're planning to shop local this Black Friday and have been itching to stop down on Monroe Street. We've got an update on that project coming up.
And maybe you can spend a little extra this holiday season because you'll be saving on your bird for Thanksgiving. We'll explain when News 3 This Morning returns. A federal judge has temporarily barred the Trump administration's attempt to ban asylum for immigrants caught illegally crossing the U.S.-Mexico border.
A record number of people are expected to hit the roadways and airwaves for Thanksgiving this week. I'm Josh Butter live with what you need to know before heading off to your destination.
This is News 3 This Morning.
A lot happening on the roads this
already.
morning. Yeah, good morning and welcome to the final half hour of News 3 This Morning. It is almost 6:31 on this Tuesday, November 20th.
And you think the traffic's bad this morning? It's just going to get worse over the next couple of days.
Yep.
We'll check in with Josh in a little bit. But first up is Hattie. She's all bundled up out on her patio. Hats, how's it feeling out there this morning?
Not bad here this morning, but I think temperatures are going to drop quite a few degrees in the next couple of hours because skies are clearing overhead. Take a live look at our view from the Queen Bee Radio Sky Cam in Platteville. Clear skies there. The camera is pointed to the east, so it's picking up some of the clouds that we're seeing here in Madison still. But it is cold in Platteville this morning. A few flurries lingering across parts of south central Wisconsin, but they're coming to an end. So within the next couple of hours, the flurries will be gone. Take a look at those temperatures. 17 in Prairie du Chien and Platteville with clear skies. Clouds still for the rest of the area, keeping temperatures in the 20s. But with those clouds clearing, I think temperatures could drop yet here in Madison before we start to see a warm up. Here's our forecast as you head out the door. We have just a little bit of flurry activity early this morning. No accumulation by any means from these snowflakes. It's going to be another chilly day today with highs only in the low 30s. So you need all the layers once again today. Here's a look at your first alert traffic maps this morning. We've been following a stalled vehicle, now learning that it's a stalled semi blocking the left lane of Highway 30. That is starting to cause some delays there, so be aware of that. No delays just yet on the Beltline or in the downtown areas. If you're headed in from the surrounding communities, looks like you're still going at posted speeds. And that's your first alert traffic.
All right, thank you so much, Hattie. We start this morning at the U.S.-Mexico border, where the Trump administration won't be allowed to refuse asylum to immigrants coming into the country illegally. A federal judge in San Francisco issued a temporary restraining order after the ACLU and the Center for Constitutional Rights sued over the president's proclamation that anyone who crossed would be ineligible for asylum. The president argued the caravan of migrants headed to the border right now is a threat to national security.
There is a community discussion happening in Madison today about the dozens of immigration and customs enforcement arrests that happened a couple months ago. At least 83 people were taken into custody across the state. 20 of them lived here in Dane County. Madison's mayor and Madison's police chief say the feds did not notify them at the time, which they claim is against protocol. Leaders from Centro Hispano, Voces de la Frontera, Freedom Incorporated, and the Community Immigration Law Center are scheduled to speak at today's event. That starts at 4 p.m. at the Pyle Center on the University of Madison campus.
Madison alders are set to approve the city's 10th sister city, this one in Ethiopia. Like Madison, Bahir Dar is the capital city of its region, has a freshwater lake, and is home to a large public university. If it's approved, it will become Madison's second sister city in Africa.
Council will also officially declare the Friday after Thanksgiving as Ho-Chunk Day here in Madison. The resolution recognizes the tribe as the Aboriginal inhabitants of the region and points out that when the tribe returned to their homeland, it was the only one in the state to never receive a formal reservation space. The measure is meant to recognize the historic trauma the Ho-Chunk people went through, and the city believes designating the 23rd will help in the process of healing and progress.
And we have a highly anticipated first alert traffic note for Madison's near west side. Just ahead of Thanksgiving, Monroe Street is going to reopen to traffic in both directions tomorrow. The city says that road will reopen to traffic sometime mid-afternoon. Bus routes will reopen on Monroe about a day later on Thanksgiving. City crews will finish installing street signs there over the next couple of weeks. Speaking of travel, Thanksgiving is one of the busiest holidays for road trips, and this year is not going to be any different.
Yeah, the last time we saw this many people traveling at least 50 miles for the holiday, I was a senior in high school, and Mariah Carey and Gwen Stefani topped the Billboard charts. Josh Spreiter's live along Highway 12 this morning, just north of Madison, with the latest projections for Thanksgiving travel. Hi, Josh.
Good morning. Already busy out here along Highway 12, but tomorrow and Sunday are expected to be the busiest times this week. AAA encourages you to hit the road on Thanksgiving itself, as well as Friday and Saturday, but really plan some extra time if you plan at traveling at all this week, because we are expecting the highest travel volume since 2005. Here in Wisconsin, 999,000 people are expected to hit the road. That's around a 5% increase. Meanwhile, 93,000 folks will travel by air, which is about 6.5% higher than last year. AAA credits the increase to higher wages, a more disposable income, and rising levels of household wealth.
Everyone needs to be a little patient with each other, expect some delays, plan for delays, and hopefully we'll all get safely to where we're going.
AAA expects to rescue nearly 360,000 motorists at the roadside nationwide this Thanksgiving. Officials say to make sure your car is up to date with the latest maintenance so you're ready to hit the road. As far as air travel, today and tomorrow are expected to be the busiest time, so plan for some extra time, especially when it comes to those security lines at the airports. Ladies, the top two destinations this year are New York City and Orlando. I'll be heading to my folks in Minnesota, but with all of this cold weather we've already been seeing this year, Orlando sounds pretty stinking good.
Funny you say that, Josh, because I happen to be heading to Miami the day after. Sorry, not
Of
sorry.
course you are, Leah. Of course you are.
Of course I
I'll
am.
expect some tweets coming from you down there, too. You'll make us all jealous, I'm
Right,
sure.
I will. I'll bring back the sunshine if I can. All right, thank you, Josh.
Please do.
And the warmth. 6:36 right now. AAA is once again offering its Tow to Go program for anyone who may need a sober ride this week. Tomorrow through Sunday, you can get a free tow, whether you're a AAA member or not. The tow truck transports you and the vehicle home or somewhere safe within 10 miles of your pickup spot.
If you're hosting Thanksgiving this year, it's going to be a little bit cheaper to get the turkey on the table. The Wisconsin Farm Bureau Federation says a large turkey supply is making for a more affordable holiday. Turkeys are about $2 less than last year, and the total for an average Thanksgiving meal in the state is lower than the national average as well. You can expect to pay right around $45 for your turkey, your stuffing, and more, or about $4.50 a person. Nationwide, that same meal will cost more like $48.
We are following the details of a deadly shooting outside a Chicago hospital yesterday. That's coming up in the morning sprint.
And there might be a new commute option for your drive to Verona and beyond if you're living in Madison. We'll take a look at City Council's latest transportation plan when News 3 This Morning returns. All right, we always ask you to share your morning with us, and this is what my morning looked like a couple days ago. Picture this, Danica. First day of hunting, 50 yards away, this beautiful buck is broadside, just perfectly positioned. I completely miss him. He scatters off like another 50 yards, turns around and just looks at me like, what, were you trying to hit me?
Oops.
Yeah, so I actually have an injury from it.
And this is from that's from a wildlife camera?
Yeah, so that was a trail cam. Doug Genthy, thank you so much for capturing this, just to tease me. But yeah, so I'm a newbie. I've heard this is a rite of passage to get the scope hunt scope situation. Yeah. So
There you go. For those of you who are wondering what the battle wounds were all about.
battle scar.
Yeah, there you go.
The one that got away. I'm always going to have a little reminder. Hopefully this doesn't scar.
I was about to say, like, I hope not forever.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
All right, 6:41 your time now. City Council will approve money this evening to support the Job Ride Plus Dane County project. That is trying to extend Metro bus routes outside the current service area so people can get to their workplaces outside of Madison. City leaders will approve an amendment to the Metro Transit budget as well to accept $10,000 from UW-Madison. That's going to go toward drafting a proposal for the project.
Madison's Finance Committee is talking about funding to prepare for more women and minority-owned businesses in the city. Urban Land Interests and Findorf Construction have committed $400,000 over the next 4 years that will help generate more small businesses run by female entrepreneurs and minorities. That would include recruiting and retaining employees for the city's construction industry.
All right, lots of hunters will be happy to hear about the forecast today. Some sun, maybe a small fresh layer of snow coming your way this Tuesday. Hattie's in next with another look at your forecast.
First, though, we do want to say happy birthday to Hugo, Devin, and Dalton. All of the kiddos turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating your big day with us here on News 3 this morning.
Good morning from the News 3 First Alert Weather Center. Thought we'd take a look back at some of the past Thanksgiving Day weather stats and show you how things have stacked up over the last couple of years. Last year, a pretty quiet day, 44 for the high, so actually a little warmer than typical for this time of the year. But take a look back to 2015, hitting a high of 55, but picking up almost 1¼ inches of rain. One of the wettest Thanksgivings on record here in Madison. And just the year before, we recorded some snow with temperatures dropping to 6 degrees for the low that day. So quite a range of temperatures for the Thanksgiving holiday. We're going to be right in the middle this year. The forecast actually looks pretty nice, starting in the 20s in the morning, climbing to highs in the upper 30s during the afternoon. Just partly sunny skies through the day. So no weather anticipated delays on Thanksgiving. Here's a look at Doppler track this morning. We've been watching a few flurries slowly move off to the east through the area. Things are already quieting down in southwestern Wisconsin where skies are clearing. Another storm system, though, waiting in the wings. You can see that snow in northern Minnesota. That will move through northern Wisconsin through the day today. May clip the southern part of the state, bringing a few flurries or even a little freezing drizzle tonight. No major travel impacts, though, are expected with that system. And none showing up on the maps right now. Green airplanes across the entire country. So good news if you are flying out early this morning. The weather shouldn't slow you down at all. Here's a look at your travel forecast. When you look at this map, you got to look at it real hard to even find any precipitation. Dry from the west coast all the way through the central part of the country. New England and the Great Lakes looking at a little bit of light snow and then some rain along the southern tier of the United States. But that's it for precipitation today. Here's a look at that forecast a little closer to home. St. Louis tops at 39 degrees, a little warmer in Omaha, but partly sunny skies there as well with a high of 46. Future track forecast model shows you that storm system moving in tonight. Most of the precipitation will be up along the U.S.-Canadian border. We may see a few snowflakes here in southern Wisconsin. Otherwise, high pressure building in from Canada to the north tomorrow brings some sunshine and quiet weather conditions. Our temperatures this morning are coldest where skies are clear, and that's out to the west. 16 in Minneapolis this morning, 7 in International Falls. Here in southern Wisconsin, many locations still in the 20s, although we do have teens along the Mississippi River Valley. Winds are light from the west this morning. They'll stay from the west throughout the day today. Here's a look at your pinpoint city forecast highs. 32 in New Glarus today, as well as Stoughton and Milton. Look for partly sunny skies for a time this afternoon. To the west, temperatures staying pretty close to 30. In fact, 30 in Prairie du Chien, only 29 for a high in Platteville, and to the north, 29 in Mauston, as well as Baraboo. Our forecast here in Madison has high temperatures right around 31 today. So not terribly warm. You'll want to bundle up. 32 again tomorrow and 38 on Thursday. That extended forecast brings rain into the area on Friday, later in the day especially. And then there is a potential for some rain changing to snow on Sunday. Here's what you do with a forecast like that.
Yeah.
Baby peeking out from under the blankets. What a cutie.
Watching the snow.
Not a bad place to be this morning.
No, yeah, does not want to wake up like most of us. Thank you, Maddie.
You're welcome.
Stay with us. The Morning Sprint is up next. From a
6:52 time now for the morning sprint. The sun is back out in Hattie's forecast, but the cold temperatures are sticking around.
And Josh has some warnings about your Thanksgiving drive that you'll be sharing with almost 1 million people out on Wisconsin roads. But we start in Chicago. That's where 3 people are dead after a gunman opened fire on his ex-fiancée and then kept shooting at a hospital yesterday. Police say the man shot his ex, an ER doctor at Mercy Hospital, out in the parking lot before walking into the hospital and then killing a pharmacy student and a police officer inside. That shooter is also dead. It's not clear yet if he took his own life or if he was killed by police.
A person of interest is in custody in connection with a shooting on Madison's west side. A 36-year-old woman was shot in the arm and leg inside her apartment on Tree Lane just before 3 yesterday afternoon. She is expected to be okay. A spokesperson for Heartland Housing told the State Journal that shooting happened in one of its apartment buildings for homeless families.
Illinois officials are asking for Wisconsin's help in finding a missing teenager. 16-year-old Amanda Perrier from Elmhurst, Illinois, about 20 minutes west of Chicago, was last seen leaving York High School Wednesday morning last week. She doesn't have a cell phone, but police do think she's in Wisconsin somewhere. Anyone with information is asked to call the DuPage County Sheriff's Office.
New overnight, a federal judge in California has temporarily banned the Trump administration's efforts to limit asylum for illegal immigrants. President Trump signed a proclamation earlier this month that tried to make it so anyone crossing the border with a migrant caravan was ineligible for that asylum. He says that group is a threat to national security. However, the groups that sued over his proclamation say the practice of limiting asylum is illegal.
The concern now shifts to ash as Northern California braces for inches of rain over the holiday weekend. That could mean wet ash will flow down inclines in that mountainous region where the deadliest wildfire in state history continues to burn. That will cause problems for search efforts in an area where nearly 700 people are still missing. 79 people have now died as a result of those wildfires.
You're waking up this morning to some clouds still here in Madison and even a few flurries, but you can see on the radar map that the flurry activity is diminishing. It will come to an end pretty quickly this morning. Our temperatures over the next 12 hours starting in the 20s, teens to the west, but not a big climb today. We're looking at a high of just 31 degrees this afternoon. That's your First Alert forecast.
I'm Josh Butter, live on the road. We're expecting the highest Thanksgiving travel volume since 2005. Tomorrow is actually one of, if not the busiest travel day of the year, both by car and by air. Here in Wisconsin, 999,000 people are expected to hit the road, or on a 5% increase. 93,000 folks will travel by air, which is 6.5% higher than last year. AAA encourages you to plan some extra travel time. Also, make sure your car is up to date on its maintenance to help avoid a breakdown. AAA says the best days to travel are on Thanksgiving Day itself, as well as Friday and Saturday.
Thank you, Josh. After months of work and just in time for Thanksgiving, Monroe Street is going to reopen to traffic in both directions tomorrow. The city says all lanes should be up and running by mid-afternoon. Bus routes will start back up there on Thanksgiving. City crews should finish installing street signs over the next couple of weeks.
There are several places offering free Thanksgiving meals on Thursday. In Madison, Good Shepherd Lutheran, Calvary Gospel, and the First Congregational United Church of Christ are all hosting free community meals. And in Rock County, the Salvation Army in Janesville and First Congregational Church in Beloit are also serving free turkey and fixings.
A report from the nonprofit March of Dimes says Wisconsin's premature birth rate is going up. It's at 8.3% right now, higher than 9.6% back in 2007. Still, it is lower than the national average. Birth rates in Dane County improved in the last year, while rates in Racine, Milwaukee, and Waukesha counties got worse. The report also showed that the preterm birth rate among Black women is 54% higher than the rate among all other women.
The Hy-Vee stores across the country are providing free hemoglobin A1C screenings. That test checks out how well your body controls blood sugar and your risk of diabetes complications. Today, you can stop by the Fitchburg location from 8 to noon for that free screening, or you can head over to the East Wash location, same time tomorrow.
6:56 now. Let's turn it over to Josh Tim with a look at your First Alert traffic. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, good morning. Highway 92 near Brooklyn is closed at Highway 14 because of a crash. And it looks like Highway 14 may be shut down soon as well near that intersection. I would avoid that area. Still looking good on the Beltline, although that westbound side getting busier between Stoughton Road and West Broadway. Inbound John Nolan beginning to tap the brakes at Rimrock and then again at North Shore Drive. And looking all good on other main routes heading into Madison with no major crashes or delays to slow you down. With your First Alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you, Josh.
And again, we do have some clouds in the area this morning, but skies are already clear in Platteville. Look at the nice sunrise taking place there. Our forecast today has temperatures climbing from the teens and low 20s back into the low 30s this afternoon. Should see some sunshine for the afternoon, but the quiet weather continues right through the holiday. We're looking at dry weather through Thursday.
We will continue to watch that closure during the cut-ins here during CBS This Morning. Hope you can tune into that. We'll see you soon.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.